Well, hello. This is different. Probably not what you were expecting from the gist, unless you were on my Facebook or my Twitter or my YouTube where I told you that this was the video I was going to be doing this week. Then you would expect it, and this is not exciting. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, my name's Jess McDonald, and this show is The Gist. And I'm actually on my own this week as the GameSpot video team because the Australian GameSpot video team is myself and Ed is still on holiday. So here we are. I figured instead of skipping next week or just doing a random episode where you wouldn't be able to see my face because I have no cameraman, I would just shoot this on my front-facing camera. Believe me, I tried to get the other side camera working and it was not happening for me. I'm not a camera woman. But here we are, and I have a bunch of questions that I asked you guys, what you might want to know about the show, or about my process, or how it comes to be, or anything, and I'm gonna answer some of them. First, we should probably roll the intro, so I will be right back. A lot of you guys wanted to see the space we shoot in. The GameSpot Australia office is actually not that big, but we're in half a floor in the middle of the city, and this is the games room that we shoot in. It is small. It is very small. We shoot onto this side of the room. We used to shoot onto the other side of the room, which is where all the posters are, so you might recognize that as well. As for the team that works on The Gist, a lot of you guys were wondering who sort of has their hands in the pie apart from me, and it's me and Ed, basically. I write the gist, I research it, I choose the topics, and then the show goes into QA where Lucy James and Chris Waters, who you probably know of, will have a look at my script and see if I've said anything stupid, and Ed will also have a look at it. Then Ed will shoot the show, so everything you see, he's behind the camera. Then Ed gives me the edit, I put it all together, and I publish it, so you see it on site. Bob Jones asks, how long does it take to make an episode? From show idea to end of editing. I usually give myself the week, but of course a lot of you guys would know that I shoot GameSpot News in the morning. So by the time that I'm done researching and writing and shooting that's when I will dedicate as much as I can of the rest of my day to the gist. I research for a little while to figure out what topic would be good for that week. A lot of you guys are wondering how I choose my topics. Basically, it's what I cared about that week, what I thought was interesting, what I think you guys might care about. I spend a lot of time thinking about topics that I would be interested in and that I can generally see are interesting to the gaming community at the time, and then I try and pick things like that. Paolo Amistad asked, does the gist have to be list presentation? Now, a lot of you guys might remember when the gist wasn't in list form. It was sometimes a list and sometimes wasn't. So we decided a few months ago to keep it in a list form, and the main reason for that was to narrow the show concept, and one of the reasons I was okay with that is that it actually doesn't stop me from doing anything I wanted to do. Some of the discussion topics that I would do before, like my episode on why The Sims wasn't so great or why SimCity wasn't so great. I'm sure I've done episodes on other things. Those were kinds of things that I could fit into a list episode anyway, so I don't think it was a huge blow to the show. I know the list format gets a lot of crap from a lot of people, and I can see why. I know that it's generally seen as like cheap, easy wins and stuff, but I actually really value the gist on providing quality content. I try really hard to make sure that everything I put out is valuable in some way. And yes, sometimes it's not going to be super massive food for thought. Sometimes it's really hard bosses in Dark Souls, or it's the worst games of the year. But I personally get a lot out of those as well. So I hope that you do too. I think you do too. That said, I'd love to hear what you actually like, the main things that you want to see. I'd love to frame the rest of the things I do this year on your actual feedback, because I try and gather an idea of what you like, because we have metrics and we have stuff I can read about the episodes that do well and the episodes that don't do as well. But nothing is going to be as valuable as just hearing you guys say to me directly, I like this or I don't like that. James Cole Athanadi asks, do you collaborate at all with Ed and Zareen? I know you write the episodes, but do they help with the ideas or other parts? Sometimes I will have a bunch of weeks where I'm just like, I know what I want to do and I'm going to do this. And only if it's a really dumb idea will Ed be like, no. But there are other weeks where it can be hard to think of something to do every single week for a feature show. We're over 100 episodes into the gist now, so it can sometimes get to a point where it's tricky to think of something to do. So there are weeks where I turn to Ed, I'm like, what am I gonna do? And that's where he gives me ideas like the year of the grappling hook. That one was Ed. I had another question that asked why I talk casually, like in the video I made on my YouTube channel the other day and this one, and why this voice is so different from my GameSpot News voice and my gist voice. And the answer is probably I have an Australian accent. I don't know if you noticed. And some people find it to be a little thick and a little confusing, and I do have a tendency to mumble. Australians are just not interested in like consonants or syllables. We just skip it. So especially when I started doing the news, I would enunciate a lot more and I would try and be clear, and obviously when I have a script I don't and ah, and that can come off a little contrived. So it's something I'm working on, and I can tell you that. So I think that's more than enough from me. I've been talking for ages, but do let me know what you think about anything that I've said or what you want to see from the gist this year. Tell me what you thought of this episode. I know it was a little odd. I hope it was okay. And I will be back next week with a regular episode. But let me know what you want to see, because I am not going to be writing it for a week, so perhaps I can work off one of the ideas you give me. In the meantime, I am always contactable on Twitter, where I'm at Jess McDonald. I have a Facebook page and a YouTube channel if you want to chat to me there or give me advice or give me suggestions. That'd be awesome. Other than that, I will catch you next week, and thank you so much for watching.